guys, the Firebird is here. It's just me. Today, I have the extreme pleasure to let you know the Rise of the Beast trailer came out. And in here, I'm gonna be breaking down everything, the things you missed, some information that the trailer doesn't tell you about, as well as some interesting character revelations and especially their designs, which is the most interesting thing that, you know, everyone wants to know about. So yeah, as is tradition with every new Transformers movie trailer, let's begin. So we start off the trailer with Mirage. He's right next to Noah's character, played by Anthony Ramos. A lot of people seem to be pretty mixed about Mirage's like design here. I'm not gonna lie, he looks very different from what I expected him to look. His legs look particularly skinny. A lot of people are making the comparison to Earthspark Trash, as I like to call him. To me, he looks very Dark of the Moon Bumblebee-esque, aside from the car wings on the back, which he doesn't have. Like his chest feels very Bumblebee, which makes sense because in this movie, and for those of you guys who haven't been keeping up with the behind the scenes, Mirage here is going to be the protagonist of the movie, more or less. Bumblebee is still gonna take center stage, but this is basically almost Mirage's movie, so he's gonna be like the Bumblebee of the movie. So they want him to look very appealing, kid-friendly, Bumblebee-esque, to which I think they kind of succeeded. Like, it's very hard to get a full look for him here. He looks fairly G1-ish, definitely more than Mirage did in Dark of the Moon, so there's that. Let me know your thoughts on him in the comments down below. Now, we then move on to like a scene in the forest. This is basically in Peru, where the Maximals are gonna be located. Now, this is New York. We're gonna spend the first portion, like I think 1/3 of the film in here. And yeah, then we got the subline, you know, something has awakened. Of course, we get our first shot at Beast Optimus Primal. Now, the design for Primal got leaked by a coffee mug a couple of days ago. And he looks so much better on screen. And he looks very different from the concept art, the CGI, you know, original concept art for Primal that got leaked a while ago. They didn't get leaked, but like the people who attended the event for the initial announcement of the movie got to see how Optimus Primal was gonna look. And in here, he looks quite different from that concept art. He looks very good. I definitely like the way he looks. He has the Maximal insignia on his chest, which, by the way, it's not the same insignia as it was in classic times. They update the Maximal insignia this go-around for the movies to make it look more modern. They also changed the Predacon insignia. And before you ask, yes, Predacons will be in the movie, so too will the Decepticons. I know they don't appear on this trailer, but trust me, they are confirmed to be in here. And then we have our first look at Optimus Prime here. He looks very good, very Bumblebee movie-esque. I'm not a fan of all the silver in him, I'll be honest. It's okay, I prefer my Optimus to be just mostly red and blue. The silver looks okay, it's not bad, I'm just saying, personal preference. Here we have a closer shot at Optimus Primal and his monkey face in all its glory. It's gonna look beautiful when they release the monkey face for Optimus Primal in, you know, the toys, and people are gonna be wearing it to the theater. I'm gonna be doing that, maybe. If you pay me enough, but, you know, donating to my Patreon, I might feel myself doing that. Anyways, so he tells Optimus Prime, of course, you know, I'm not the one you fear. And here we have Optimus Prime has a new weapon. It almost looks like a new version of Bumblebee's like plasma cannon that, you know, he had throughout the Michael Bay franchise. And also they're around the same size, so they're not going for the whole Beast Wars perspective in which the Autobots were honestly gigantic in comparison to the Maximals. But the Maximals here seem to more or less be a tiny bit bigger than the Autobots, as you will see later on. Now, Primal tells Optimus that there's a darkness coming, and by that he means the Terrorcons. We also see that Optimus takes off his mask, and you can see his updated, you know, mouth look. It looks very, you know, Michael Bay movie-esque. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of that. I kind of wish he didn't have the mouth. With this design, I don't think it fits that well, but it's alright, it is what it is. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. So here we have, you know, this shot of New York. Apparently someone's messing with the lights here, and on the background you can actually see some lighting, some interestingly enough, some purple lighting, something that's maybe associated with Unicron, and we suspect that the Terrorcons are probably gonna have some kind of relation to Unicron. That bit is still unconfirmed. So here we have Optimus Prime, you know, heading into the city. This shot is very reminiscent to the ending of the BB movie. And speaking of BB, here we have Bumblebee in his like almost 2007 Camaro, looking very shiny, I might add. And here we have his new look for him. It's a mix of the BB movie and of course the 2007 way he looked. honestly, it's not bad. I really like it. They even kept the Bumblebee movie head, which I think it's for the best. I really like that head version for him. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this weird combination of the two, but that's really cool. Here we have Mirage, and yes, this is not Jazz. Mirage is gonna transform into this. A lot of people have been complaining that this is not Jazz. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but Mirage's G1 vehicle is illegal to drive in the streets. So this is the closest thing that they could, get away with. And now, as we see here, Noah gets into the car, and apparently he's familiar with this car. Noah had this car since the beginning, because here, he gets into the car all normal and stuff, and he sees the Autobot insignia, and he seems to be, kind of like confused by it. Like, wait, what the frick is this doing here? This wasn't on my car, type of thing. So this is like arguably the first time Mirage and Noah meet, and apparently so, because then the car starts driving itself, and Noah starts getting chased by the police, and he's like, the car's driving itself, I'm not doing anything. So this is the first meeting. It's not like the Autobots find Noah by chance. The Autobots are looking for Noah specifically. For what purpose, we still don't know. This is really cool. We got Mirage basically pseudo transforming and putting Noah in the back seat for his own safety. Honestly, that's really cool. And we see that Mirage has holograms, something that he also had in Siege as of recently. And he's depicted as having that in his own continuities. He creates these duplicates of himself to basically lose the police. And honestly, that's so cool. I'm so glad we're getting more diversity with the powers that each Transformers had, because that's something that the Michael Bay movies were severely lacking. Now here we have our first look at Cheetor. I have to say, I am so happy with the way Cheetor looks here. He has color. Something that I was really worried that he was gonna look like Laszlo Ben's concept art. No offense to Laszlo, it's just that I'm not a fan of like the gray looking Protoform Transformers. I'm glad that we're seeing more color. And he also has green eyes, much like Primal. So it looks like green eyes is gonna be like the faction color for the Maximal faction. And here we see Off-Road Bumblebee, which is gonna be Bumblebee's secondary vehicle mode that he's gonna have in the movie. Yes, Bumblebee alongside Mirage are gonna have multiple vehicle modes. Once they go to Peru, it looks like Bumblebee's gonna get a bit of an upgrade. As you can see here, the Maximals seem to be a whole lot taller than the Autobots. That's honestly great. I'm really happy, because having the Maximals be really tiny, that would have not worked. They are beasts. You wanted to look big and ferocious, and honestly, I'm happy with the way this is looking so far. Now here we have Air Racer. Air Racer breathes fire. Now, I'll be honest, that's something I was not expecting whatsoever. And she's burning like this bridge, which I'm guessing this is in Peru, because a lot of the Maximals are gonna appear in Peru, and this seems to be in line with the Peruvian architecture. Because in case you guys don't know, my editor, who edits my videos sometimes, shout out to him, he is from Peru, and like this kind of place, like, the roads that don't come with like the safety guards around, so you don't fall off the cliff, are actually quite common in this region, and they're very dangerous. So this is in fact Peru. At the back we actually see someone who's like trying to cross the bridge. That seems to be Optimus Prime, because we see the red and the blue. So it almost looks like Air Racer's trying to fight Optimus, which is very weird. Next shot is Mirage, and I just realized this trailer is very fast paced. Unless you're looking at some stuff frame by frame, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. Now here we have Mirage, and on the background we got Nightbear. So Nightbear is chasing Mirage, and here in the cliff we see what it appears to be Optimus. He's basically pulling an Age of Extinction and throwing himself against Nightbear, which I love that callback. That's a nice callback. He's shooting, forward towards Nightbear, and apparently someone else here, because as you can see, we see this gun pointing at Mirage, and this guy falls. I think that's honestly Battle Trap, or it could even be Scourge. Speaking of Battle Trap, here we have Battle Trap. Apparently he can shoot missiles from his little exhaust engine thing, and he's aiming towards Wheeljack and RC. Now RC here looks fairly Bumblebee movie-esque. I like the pink from Bumblebee movie RC a whole lot more than the red. This doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. It's kind of in line with what we've been expecting. But red on RC is just a bit weird for me, okay? So here we see that the two of them are trying to avoid the missile. It just barely misses them. And RC here, you can see that she has like this pink visor. That's actually supposed to be a reference to in G1, where she actually had the same thing during the 1986 Transformers movie. So after dodging the missile, RC goes into, attack mode. As you can see, she's, holding up to Wheeljack for extra speed and momentum. her gun is very different from the Revenge of the Fallen one that she had. So I'm really happy with the way they changed up RC this time around. I'm so glad that they're not going with the Revenge of the Fallen design. Here we have Optimus Prime fighting Scourge. They're in the outskirts of a museum, from what I remember. They're fighting outside a museum. And Bumblebee kind of jumps in trying to take on Scourge. Now, if you pause at the right frame, you can actually see Scourge's, weird Cybertronian claw weapon. And this is a very blink you miss a moment, but Scourge does what Megatron couldn't do in the last night. He straight up one-shots Bumblebee. Oh my god, I'm in shock. Like, we all know that Bumblebee was gonna get like the crap being out of him, but this just straight up confirms it. And as you can see here, he's like pulling his sword through Bumblebee, and Bumblebee's like struggling to live in a shot that's very reminiscent to Bumblebee versus Blitzwing. But Bumblebee, was a dead story in that fight. Here we have our look at Scourge. He does look like an evil Optimus, I'm not gonna lie. His face seems to be the Terrorcon insignia, more or less. Scourge does some weird electricity thing, and like it creates a huge shockwave that just like destroys Bumblebee. Now in the background you can also see Battletrap. So Battletrap and Scourge seem to have teamed up against Optimus here. And this pretty much confirms that Scourge does in fact have electricity power. So that power outage that we were having at the beginning of the trailer, that was actually because of Scourge, more or less. Something else I want to mention here is what Optimus Primal says. He says, of all the threats from your past and from your future, he says that this is the greatest one. Now, the mere fact that Optimus Primal talks about the future pretty much confirms that time travel in some way, shape, or form is gonna be, featured in this film. In case you guys don't know, in the original Beast Wars cartoon, the Maximals are actually not from Earth's past. Technically they are. They're actually from the future. In a future where the Autobots beat the Decepticons, they travel back to prehistoric Earth and they have a fight with the descendants of the Decepticons, aka the Predacons. Henceforth, the Beast Wars starts. Now, Beast Wars by itself is technically a time loop. Basically, itself a paradox. So Primal saying past and future out of nowhere, I don't think it's just a nod to the Beast Wars cartoon, but I think it's also supposed to be, an indication that the Maximals are in fact the descendants of, the Autobots this time around, and they know about the future. Now here we see our 4 Autobots. Notice that Bumblebee is missing, and that one right there, that's not Bumblebee, that's actually Wheeljack. Now people have been mentioning that he actually has his Dark of the Moon head, which if he does, in all honesty, I'm gonna be very disappointed. I don't like the Dark of the Moon Wheeljack head. I really don't like it. I hope they keep the BB, Wheeljack head. That would be cool. But yeah, so far it's looking like Wheeljack's gonna have his Dark of the Moon head, and I'm very disappointed by it. Here we also have a back look at Mirage, RC, and everyone else. Yeah, not much to talk about there. So this is the festival that's gonna take place in Peru. Apparently the people here do have a connection to the Maximals. The Maximals have been on Earth for quite a long time. You guys can't see it, but the horn right here belongs to like this rhinoceros like looking parade thing, and on the back you see a cheetah with wings, which is supposed to be an allusion to Cheetah and Air Racer. Now here we have our first look at Rhinox. I love the way he looks. I wish he had the green from Beast Wars, but maybe he will when he transforms. He looks fantastic. Honestly, I thought that Rhinox was gonna be the one character that we're gonna butcher, but he looks fantastic here. I can't wait to see the Beast mode. I mean, the robot mode. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. So here we see Optimus transforming. This shot almost looks like an inversion of the Revenge of the Fallen Shanghai scene where Optimus transforms. Well, in that film, Optimus was descending from the skies to Earth. In this shot, he's actually, going the opposite. He's going from the ground to almost the air. He's not flying, but you get what I mean. Now here we see 3 meteors falling in New York. Now these are the Terrorcons, Scourge, Nightmare, and Battletrap, which apparently are going to be, taking center stage during the early stages of the film. We don't know what they're hunting just yet, but they're here and they're extremely dangerous. Here we have a shot of Optimus's new weapon, which kind of upset that he doesn't have his gun from the BB movie back. I really wish he did, because that gun was fantastic. And now here we have like the big battle scene at the end of the trailer. Here we see Battletrap, which honestly he looks way better here in the movie than in what he did in the toy. Because in the toys he looked very, and I mean very skinny. And that was something I was complaining about. I'm glad that he's the muscle of the Terrorcons. And in the background you can obviously see Sniper, which she can fly. I'll be honest, I was not expecting that. She even has wings, if you guys can see it. Look. Here, very hard to tell. On the background, we also see some more Decepticons. Well, Decepticons. They're probably Terrorcons or Predacons. Like we know, Predacons are gonna be in the movie. We don't know how involved they're gonna be. People say that they're gonna be absent for most of the movie and appear towards the end as a post-credit scene. Some people say that the Predacons are just gonna show up for the final battle before, you know, effing off and leaving the Terrorcons to die. There's a lot of speculation there. But it looks like the Terrorcons either will have their own army or they're gonna have help from the Predacons. Here, like the guy that just got shot, you can see that the way he looks very beast-like, you know? I feel like this is a Predacon. In the background you can see more Predacons. I'm gonna call them Predacons for now. Don't take my word for it. We don't know if they're Predacons just yet, but they do look like them a lot. Now here we see the Autobots and Maximals charging into battle. We got Optimus, we got Cheetor, and we got what it looks to be RC or Wheeljack here in the background. They're charging towards this like giant like building temple like thing. It's very hard to tell, but I love how this is looking. It looks very, you know, Saving Private Ryan-esque with explosions and the movement and the, you know, bullets just flying by. This looks awesome. Here we see Cheetor transforming. Unfortunately, we don't get a clear shot at him. We only see him from the back, but he looks good so far. Okay, like I have high hopes for Cheetor's robot mode. If you look towards the side of the enemy, you can see that there's a lot of Transformers there. Unfortunately, because of the quality and because they're too far away, we can't exactly see how they look like. But we do see that they're actually Terrorcons or Predacons they're charging. Listen, maybe it's that I'm overly excited, but that one, you know, the one that, you know, shoots this shot right here at Cheetor, sort of looks like Beast Megatron. Now, I'm not saying it's Beast Megatron. It looks like he has the, you know, Beast Megatron chest, you know, with like the little teeth around him. Like, it could be random protoform for all we know, but I'm just saying this looks suspiciously like Beast Megatron. Now, here we see Optimus Primal transforming, and behind him we see RC and what supposedly is Wheeljack. Before he like hits the ground, behind him you can see what it appears to be a yellow Transformer. This could be Cheetor. In all honesty, it kind of does look like Cheetor, but I'm just saying there's the possibility that it might even just be Bumblebee. We also see another Autobot slash Maximal. It's a very blink and you'll miss it kind of character. But behind Optimus Prime's, you know, Energon swords, we see someone else. This guy's actually Rhinox, the one behind Optimus and Primal. So that's our first look at Rhinox's robot mode. Looks very accurate to Beast Wars, so I'm really happy for that. Here we have Optimus Primal's transformation. He has his OG Beast Wars sword. I'm super hype about that, but he also has like the flail weapon thing that he had from his OG toy interpretation. But if you look closely at some frames, you can see that he actually does have a bit of blue in him. It's very fainted, but he does have it. Now here we have a better look at the structure that the Predacons, Terrorcons, Decepticons, whoever our main villains are right now. It almost looks like a ship, you know. It even gives me some small vibes of the Star Harvester from Revenge of the Fallen. It's not the same thing, it's definitely not, but I'm just saying. Here we see the Nightbird just goes straight for RC. Battletrap's also charging in. It looks like the Terrorcons and the Predacons are trying to defend this building. Like their objective for them is defending this place, and the Autobots need to destroy it. We see more Terrorcons in the background charging in. Interestingly enough, Scourge is not present here. Here we see that Primal jumps in, he gets his two swords out, he mixes them, he combines them together like a toy, and charges at Battletrap. In the background, we got a better look at these things. I'm gonna call it the Predacon army for now. To me, they look like fairly Beast-esque, so they might be Predacons. They could, again, also just probably be a Terrorcon army. But we see that there's a lot of them, and they all look almost exactly the same. So they are an army. Whether a Terrorcon or Predacon or maybe from someone or something else, we don't know just yet, but we'll find out soon enough. And of course, our trailer ends with the title card, Transformers Rise of the Beast. And here we have probably our best Shoutout RC. She looks cool. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this look. It's not bad. I like it. It's just that I love the BB design so much more. Also, literally as I'm recording this, we got confirmation for some of the voices for some of the characters. Peter Dinklage is gonna be voicing Scourge. Kinda weird. Lisa Koshy, I think that's her name, is gonna be voicing RC. And John DeMago is gonna be voicing Stratosphere, who apparently is gonna be in the movie. Stratosphere is here. David Sobolov is gonna be voicing Rhinox and Battletrap. The mere fact that they're sharing a voice actor just means that Battletrap's not gonna have that much of a speaking role in the movie. Probably gonna be more of like the intimidating buff, you know, presence of the Terrorcons. Michaela J. Rodriguez is gonna be voicing Nightbird. Cristo Fernandez is gonna be voicing Wheeljack. And to give you a reminder, Michelle Yeoh is voicing Aerobaser, Pete Davidson's voicing Mirage, Peter Cullen is voicing Optimus Prime, and Ron Perlman will be voicing Optimus Primal. Now, I don't know what they mean by Stratosphere being in the movie because I did not saw him at all, unless I missed something. If you guys spotted Stratosphere, mention it. I'll do a follow-up video talking about all the confirmations for the characters. Now, something else I want to mention is some people, and I as well, feel like some of the CGI for the trailer is a bit unpolished. It's not bad. Some of it looks amazing, especially towards the end, but some of it does feel a bit off, especially in comparison to the Michael Bay era. And honestly, I kind of agree, but this is nothing new. Typically, with Transformers movies, the first trailer always looks a bit, you know, rough around the edges by a little bit. It is very possible that this is just a trailer that we were supposed to get in December last year. So they just showed us the old trailer and didn't show us like the new, you know, probably worked on trailer with better CGI. It looks good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying the CGI does feel a bit off here and there. Also, something else that I just noticed as I'm rewatching the trailer is that Noah has a cyber sleeve. Now, this is basically like a small gauntlet that he has connected to his arm. We don't know what the purpose of this is, but he was pointing it at Optimus Primal in this shot right here. This is something that appears in Earthspark. The two main characters there have a similar like cybernetic like hand attachment that lets them feel and know the emotions of Transformers in the series Transformers Earthspark. So that could be a similar thing. We don't know what the purpose of this is yet, but Noah's important in some way, shape, or form. So there's a very plot relevant apparatus of some kind. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for the trailer. I'm sure as people dissect more of it and, you know, point out things that I probably missed, we're gonna have more to talk about and mention. This is really cool, honestly. Really lived up to my expectations. Worst case scenario, I was expecting us to get a very short, underwhelming trailer, but it was honestly pretty good, pretty exciting. It's probably not my favorite trailer for all the Transformers movies, but it's definitely a really good one. I want you guys to go to the comments down below and let me know your thoughts on the trailer. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts on it? Your hopes and expectations. If there's anything I missed, please point it out. I will pin your comment, you know, hearted and all that stuff. Speculation season has begun, and honestly, I can't wait for this movie to come out. Stay tuned, guys. More news and leaks are gonna be coming very, very soon. And if you guys want to stay up to date with everything, like, comment, subscribe, do all that annoying YouTuber stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Anyways, guys, before we go, shout out to our amazing Patreons: Xavier the God, Stitch Productions, Scrub Lordo, Allspark Studios, Epic Nin, Lord Racer, Transformers Gears and Brawn, that's still quite a long name, Up to Nation Reviews, Joshua, James Newbold, Predacon Hunter Plays, Omega Tryon 2006, go check out his YouTube channel, Namekai, and Diamond Chris Productions, please get a shorter name. And a bigger shout out to our even bigger Patreons, Joe the Great and XNor23, who donated a amount of money. By donating to my Patreon, you get quite a few rewards. You get to collab with me in some of my videos if you so choose to. You can request some artwork from me, request some videos from me, get exclusive early access to some videos I haven't made public yet, as well as a variety of other projects and videos that I'm secretly working in the background. So consider donating if it interests you. Also, you're gonna get a shout out to your YouTube channel, and link to it will be in the description down below. Be sure to check out these guys and need all the help they can get to raise their YouTube channels, but keep in mind that this is entirely optional because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you guys again for donating, it's much appreciated, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys.